We are sharing the news as usual. We start with the news. So Nastya.
We are going to have camp, but it's not an English one.
Uh-huh.
Just um, care and looking after the children from
Uh-huh.
9 to 6 p.m. From 9
It,
a.m. to 6.
is it a city camp or is
Yeah,
it
city camp.
a city camp?
Yeah.
Are you involved in this?
No,
No,
no.
for
People who should do this stuff should be easygoing, funny. It's not about me. I need discipline.
I
That's why
see.
I said no, in order not to spoil kids' summer
No, not to spoil
holidays.
you would say not to spoil the fun, yeah?
Yeah, for
Because you
them.
can't really spoil kids, but you can spoil the fun being too
Yeah,
structured, too well
too,
planned.
yeah, too strict, too
Uh-huh.
Are
tough.
you a fun killer? I,
Yeah.
I am not sure, but I think
Uh-huh.
that I have heard this phrase.
Yeah. Well, I think she's quite too strict to herself, Kate. This is what I think that Nastya is actually good at, and quite could be quite flexible, but probably. Well, I've noticed that some people who are good at planning lessons, they don't like those fun activities. They're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
good at arranging all those things. Hmm.
So that's why it was quite difficult for me to work at primary school,
Hmm.
uh, because
It's
you
different.
just not have to not only conducting lessons but also uh, be like an animator.
Yeah.
So,
Like
yeah,
you have,
Entertain them.
yeah, you have to entertain them even more
yes,
than teach them. Yeah.
yeah. So
Hmm.
you have to combine it properly.
Yeah, like there should be a balance between the two. Yeah. Because when people tend to entertain too much, the
Hmm.
progress
Mhm.
suffers
Yeah,
and discipline. But when people are too strict, kids don't really like that.
yeah, yeah.
I
So
had no problems with school. I do
Mhm.
not know why.
Yeah,
But
because
mom
you're.
always said me, "You are so rude" when I was a teenager,
Mhm,
a little kid. But you have also a lot of friends. How does this
mhm.
work?
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, friends, see you in a more balanced way, not just some
Maybe.
traits. Uh-huh. Well, Kate, how was your week? Was it enjoyable?
yeah, it was quite enjoyable
Mm-hmm.
because I haven't got too many classes. To be
Do you still
honest,
have some?
I have some
Mm-hmm.
because it was the final week
Mm-hmm.
when our 10 grade students studied. So they just finished this academic year too.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why, and some of the days I went to these exams or went with 11th grade students
Mm-hmm.
to the exams. So that's why it was quite enjoyable week
Mm-hmm.
without
Mm-hmm.
deadlines and so
Mm-hmm.
on. Moreover, my mom came, so we
Mm-hmm.
just enjoy time together,
Oh,
and
great.
I just I'm really looking forward to uh, going my son to Engels
Mm-hmm. Wow. When are they going to Engels?
on Monday.
On Monday. Oh, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right. Have you planned the next week already? Time
I
to
just
myself, time
want,
to myself, time to myself.
yeah, it will be something like this. Enjoy, enjoy, and enjoy.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
Yeah.
Well, is there a lot of paperwork involved? When the academic year finishes, do you have to do a lot of like paper stuff?
So to
No,
be honest, not
not
many,
much.
not much, yes, the papers,
Mhm,
not
mhm,
much.
mhm.
Because our 11th grade students like finished English as a subject in scholarship нет, schedule, наверное, in the schedule at the end of 2023.
Mhm.
So that's why I have already marked them, you know.
Mhm, mhm.
So that's why nothing special. I have already worked with their attestat.
Mhm, mhm. And when do you have like entrance exams when newcomers join the school? Is it in May or is it in August?
So as our department isn't specialized in linguistic, like
Linguistics.
linguistic, so that's why we are not we don't check their knowledge in English.
Test.
And
Yeah, we don't
yes,
test.
just math, Russian, ITC, and physics.
Mhm,
It is the 4 main subjects in our department.
mhm. So you are not involved
Yes,
in
I'm
this
not involved.
entrance procedure. Mhm,
Yeah.
I see. Got that. So if we summarize the results of the week, so was it more about challenges, or was it more about plans, or was it more about achievements?
So for me, I think it's more about plans for summer holidays,
Mhm.
because
Have you planned everything?
the results I will have at the middle of in the middle of June.
Okay. Okay. Nastya, how about you?
I think the same because we were planning timetable for the June. We were
That's true.
calling
Mhm,
all the parents, talking with kids.
mhm, mhm.
Really difficult.
Have you
So
planned your holiday yet? Yeah, like the relaxation period. Like, have you planned that?
not yet. If we are going to move to Moscow, we are thinking about this route. No time for holiday.
No holiday time.
Maybe if we will manage
Mhm,
to find spare time, of course we will.
mm,
Some-
mhm, mhm. But the decision is not taken yet.
I think it is taken, but we need more time to organize everything.
To arrange, yeah, things, sort things out. Yeah.
I like comfort, and everything should be done perfectly well.
Well, I think when you become mature, a grown-up person, you really appreciate, things planned and organized. In your 20s, you don't really care much, right?
Yeah.
But when you get a bit older, you really start appreciating certain things, especially if you have kids, right? Well, can we just highlight some things connected with the language? Вот жду не дождусь, когда сын уедет. Kate, can you think about this one?
I
I'm
don't know.
I'm
I
looking
just want to
when
say
I'm looking forward to my son.
I'm looking forward to my son going to.
Or leaving, for Saratov or going to Saratov. Or I'm looking forward when. If to sound a bit more accurate, when you are very emotional, choose the structure that you feel more comfortable with, so you can control the poems. And if we think of subject areas of different knowledge, like physica, linguistica, it would be
Field, we can say.
yeah, physics,
Physics.
linguistics, yeah, like economics, kind of and this phrase that our students usually feel problems with. Вот она мне всегда говорила, что я слишком строгая. Мгм.
She always
Ага.
tells me, или говорит,
Yeah,
oops,
yeah. My mom always tells me or
Tells me.
used to tell me, yeah. Like, or then, well, we can say, but more often it's about a message that she or he, some other person shared with us. Right. Speaking of personal qualities, you had a chance to look at different noun phrases in the book as an extra kind of task, right? So what I want you to think of, I want you to think of different qualities. And here we have a, kind of speech bubble with different, qualities. And I want you to focus on creating a new community. Think of a professional community or people who live next door. So what kind of community would you like to talk about? Teachers' professional community or like people who live next door?
I think teachers. community.
Okay, because well, this is more about like social connections or social links, that the quality of life depends on people around very often, those who surround us. So let's talk about teachers' communities then. 3 desirable and 3 undesirable qualities. So first, focus on task A.
Desirable, yeah.
Yeah, like there will be 6, right? Things which would be more desirable and things that would be less desirable. Teaching community, professionals around you. So
Like
what
for
would
me,
be
the
more important? Like
for
the
me,
backbone. Can you think of something? Yeah, like just focus on selecting 3 desirable and 3 undesirable.
so
For sure.
Ready with
Yeah.
this?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Well, now focus on task B. We are going to discuss those 3 that you have chosen. And how would you ensure these principles were maintained? So it's hypothetical. We don't create anything. We just consider things. But while sharing ideas, I would like you to focus on priority. All we need is one thing that we can do is like focus on the main thing I admire or respect in colleagues, or the main thing we are missing or I think we need. So now you think of the way of expressing your opinions using those
Let's
things
say.
that we have been.
And after that, answer the second question. And
Yeah, like we are
B.
considering question 2, like B, but you don't have to say all the sentences using the structures, but kind of comment, insert them in your speech. So let's start with the most desirable quality. Well, Nastya, begin.
So, doing homework, speaking, we agreed with Kate. The main thing we need is collaboration. Because when all the members of the team are interested in the results of this event here, they will succeed.
Kate, what do you think about collaboration?
So I agree with Nastya. As she has already mentioned, we've discussed this question about collaboration, and also I think the also one thing that we can do is can do. That we need is fairness and optimism.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I think it's these qualities are really important because the atmosphere of working process is influence no
Influences, right?
influences
Mhm.
the results
Yes.
of
Mhm.
the process. So
Mhm.
that's why it is really very important to feel comfortable in close-knit community and to feel
Mhm.
like you're a member of a close-knit community.
Absolutely. Mhm. Okay. Any other qualities that we desire to maintain or develop?
Yes, I just
Mhm.
fair distribution of wealth. I think it's really
Yeah.
important too, because when someone even just has a feeling that he or she uh, has unfair like salary,
Mhm.
so that he or she has achieved great results, but
Mhm.
uh, they weren't estimated
Uh,
fairly.
no, they weren't valued, I would probably say,
Valued
fairly, yeah,
fairly, yeah,
properly. Yeah,
properly.
like
Uh,
when the person is underpaid,
yes, when the person is
they have
underpaid or undervalued, uh,
valued a verb.
undervalued, yeah, but
Mhm.
it leads to his to the un uh, uh, to the uh, dissatisfied
Satisfaction.
Dissatisfaction.
faction,
The
dissatisfaction,
yeah, the dissatisfaction or even burnout. Yeah.
yeah, or even burnout, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, any more points that are really valued? Mm-hmm.
Mm, It's only when all
Mhm.
members are tolerant
Tolerance. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that
You can say
everybody.
one more thing. Yeah, one more thing we need
One
to
more thing, we
consider.
need to be tolerant because it's one of the most difficult qualities that people should
Yeah,
develop
I
in themselves, and it's really hard to accept some people's weaknesses,
or differences, right?
differences even.
Yeah, like to consider, to value something different
That and
in other
you
people.
not being tolerant, we are tend to criticize.
Not too much. Yeah, true. So,
So
are there?
one more
Uh-huh.
point, sorry.
Yes,
I
yes,
just
true, true,
want to
true.
add this one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it is only when people can like involve some innovation in their process that is lead to that that leads to success, because we live in a very uh,
Unstable.
not a fast-paced
Mm.
like development.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's why it is really very important to follow all innovation if you want to be
Uh-huh.
succeed
To keep
in
up, at least if you want to keep up with the changes. Yeah.
years, keep up with the changes and to be
Mm-hmm.
succeed in any sphere and field.
Mm-hmm. Including education and language
Yeah.
teaching. Absolutely. Right. So, any qualities that are less desirable in the professional community? So, what about
Honestly,
the? Uh-huh.
One thing that we shouldn't do for sure is to be being materialist, because our sphere is not always about money. It's about achievement, raising kids, developing their strengths, and trying to think with weakness. And it's not always about money.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay. This is not about natural resources. Yeah, things like oil. Yeah, like unfortunately. So, and look at this quality. Do you think that a lot of teachers kind of suffer from prejudice?
Sure.
Well, very
Yeah.
often you remember our students complain that some teachers have pets and some students do not understand. They think they have no chances of getting higher grades because, well, teachers view them this way. Does it happen? Well, not with us. I mean,
Okay,
at
yes,
large.
sometimes it's really I
Happens.
don't happens, yes. I think if I just say to use these sentences, it will be like I have a prejudice to some points, but I think that you should the teachers just one thing. No. What I suggest is that teachers should be quite young, maybe to be on at the same wavelength as their students, or to be ready, like to develop, to be ready to be long life students.
Learners.
Yeah. So to learn how to be flexible. One thing
Yeah.
that we probably need to develop in ourselves, like flexibility to
Yeah.
changes. Yeah.
But of course, not all, but we can say wise teachers aren't flexible, because my son's teacher is quite, I can't say old, but she's in her, I think.
They teaches in an old-fashioned way.
Yeah, no, she's quite. She no. On the on the other hand, yes, on the contrary, she's quite old, but her methods are really very new and up to date, because even I can't, even I couldn't imagine that I will have such methods, especially in the primary school. Yep.
Okay, so your son is lucky.
Very tolerant. Yeah, he is very lucky.
Okay,
But
great.
yeah, but in ours, for example, school, there are some quite old teachers. So, and the students, like the students always tell that their lessons very predictable, like are very predictable.
Yeah, like they are
That's
kind of
why it's quite,
monotonous. Yeah.
yes, it's quite not boring, because they're very strict and they can't
Too
use their,
traditional.
yes,
Yeah.
traditional, like.
Okay. Well, anything else that we kind of missed out? Oh, well, in a way, teachers are very individualistic. In a way, they are very isolated, because you work with your class and your colleagues work like next door, and you do not really sometimes interact with them a lot. Well, maybe, to some extent, but not much. Well, if you think of yourselves, would you consider yourselves as team players? Because schools and like communities of teachers are like teams. So what do you say? Are you team players? You personally?
So I think that I am quite a good team player.
Mm-hmm.
As a teacher, I
Mhm.
just could understand that my subject in our department is not the main one. So that's why I just quite often give a chance to other teachers, for example, to take some students from my lessons in order to uh,
So
все,
rephrase it, keep it simple. Do not make
yeah,
it too complex.
in order to achieve the mark they achieve the level that they should in their subject, for
Core
example,
subjects, yeah, like
core subjects, yeah.
So you're ready to adjust to
Yeah.
changes, yeah, and
So I'm really I know that I'm really ready to adjust and to be flexible if it will need the situation.
If it's needed,
It
yeah,
will be needed by the
or if
situation.
it's necessary.
If it's, yes.
Well, Nastya, what do you say?
As we have only one subject at school.
Well, but still you have like substitute teachers, you have different
I think in
groups.
most situations I am a good teacher, but sometimes when I'm in a bad mood or influenced influenced by some circumstances, I can be stubborn. But we have administrator who always tries to make us flexible, to calm us down. She likes
I see. Okay. Well, I would like you to open your books at page 88, and here we have some visuals, some pictures that different people would associate with teamwork and cooperation. So if I ask you, for example, at C2 level exam, you are very often given pictures and the students, candidates should choose the best picture to visualize something. So if I ask you to think of those 4 pictures, which would you choose to, to portray teamwork, and why?
Recently, I've rewatched the film with Sandra Bullock, Dark Side, about American football, and that's why I would choose the second picture because she was trying to give him a mood to describe the atmosphere of the game, and she was telling the boy that it's your family, you should protect them. And in order to achieve their results, to win the game, they should be really good team players.
So, team sports are good examples of cooperation, and teamwork. Well, Kate, how about you? What do you think?
So I think I've chosen this one, pictures too, the picture number, the second one, because it was the main point when I just have chosen a proper sport for my son in order to develop team team skills. In him, I've chosen basketball. So and I think it was quite a right decision. It really helps him to work in command. Like now
In
I
teams,
see
in
in
teams.
teams, yes. Now I just realize that he started to analyze like the process and the process of the game and how not to show himself, but to achieve the results that team need.
Yeah, like some strategic thinking.
Yeah, some strategic thinking.
Okay. Well, if we look at picture one, what kind of team and what kind of which aspect of teamwork is it does it show?
Maybe brainstorming.
Maybe brainstorming.
Yes, I think it's maybe they are working in a very big company, international one, maybe,
probably.
and they are just discussing some issues and maybe even planning the results of their work and how to achieve them. So we can in the middle, like in the center of the picture, we can see I think a manager or who are eager to listen her employees and her colleagues.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's a good comment. Yeah, that's this is the ability to hear what people are saying, because very often we listen, but we do not
hear.
Nice. So how about picture three? What kind of aspect does it show of teamwork? What do you say?
It's a collaborative work on project for
Maybe,
the students, for sharing some ideas. It seems for sure that they are doing some intellectual work.
And yeah, three. Unlike picture four, what does it show?
It's a labor.
Like manual work.
Manual,
Like intellectual, like manual work. And why teamwork here is important?
Because it's quite dangerous. Here you're working with equipment, with heavy stuff, and sometimes to manage to build a really impressive building.
And the results would be high, like if it's a repair or decoration, if people work properly together, like and responsible for their aspects, right? Here we are going to talk a little bit about problems that can occur while working in teams, and think of question 3 in B. Like, while working together, what kind of issues can arise? Like, if we look at these 4 points, productivity, achievements, this communication, disagreements, while working in teams. So, well, if we think of your personal experience, what kind of aspects of teamwork have
all
you
of
had?
them.
All of them, yeah. So
I
which,
just
I
just even choose the only one.
can't, yeah, difficult
Yeah,
to
I
choose.
can't. It's really difficult to choose, but people usually just remember the negative factors clearly, more clear, clear than
Clearly,
more
yeah,
clearly than
yeah,
positive ones.
yeah,
So
true.
that's why, of course, I remember some disagreements that our team like our
Has had,
colleagues,
yeah.
yes, had during our academic year. So and it was quite difficult to find the decision, but they managed to do it. So, but of course, the process is suffer when
The process.
oh, I mean the starting process.
Yeah. Suffer is a good word to use, but think of grammar accuracy. The process. It's a
Suffer.
verb. Suffers. Always suffers. Yeah.
Always suffers. I think that something bad with my internet connection. That's why I
Okay.
think
Yeah. That's okay. Well, which things are more difficult to resolve? What do you say, Nastya? If we think of different issues connected with productivity, communication, disagreements, resolve, like sort out.
Sort out.
Yeah, if there are certain minor problems in teamwork, which things are difficult to sort out, to resolve?
It's really surprisingly as where I'm working in a female team. It's not, and it's always believed that a female team is like a basket with snakes, but we do not have a lot of disagreement. And for us, I think it's really difficult to achieve productivity because we have breaks in different times. We do not meet together as a group,
regularly.
Regularly, we do not have a lot of team meetings, and that's why sometimes it's one person who needs to do to solve the problems in order to achieve the result. Not a team, but somebody takes the responsibility.
Okay. Right. Well, yeah, I think a lot would depend on the format of communication and the way you share responsibilities within a team, right? We are going to focus today a little bit more on business teams because these are like more commonly predicted situations and maybe less specific. We are going to listen to a team who work for an insurance company. Do you remember what's that?
Yeah.
So we are going to listen to different team members, and they will be talking about one of the colleagues. So look at the questions in C. I would like you to take notes. So you kind of focus on ideas mainly at this stage. So what kind of colleague they comment, what kind of problems they mentioned, and qualities. And there will be a special question about Vicky, who is the team leader. Hi.
Track 3.43. Claudio. Deep down, Masha is a nice person. I mean, if we go and have a coffee together and just talk about everyday things, we get on just fine. But in meetings, she really winds me up. She's the most stubborn person I know. What annoys me is that once she gets hold of an idea, she won't let it go. She'll defend her idea and get quite aggressive about it. And sometimes she just won't stop talking, and I'm sitting in a meeting, and inside myself I'm saying, "Stop talking now, please." Admittedly, she does have really good ideas sometimes. In fact, she's very creative. But she doesn't seem to understand that there can be other ways of looking at things. What she needs to do is lighten up, get a sense of humor. In this job, what you need more than anything else is the ability to laugh at yourself.
Masha.
There's something a bit old-fashioned about Sam that I find very sweet. It's the thing I like about him the most. He has lots of funny little habits, like every morning he has a coffee and a chocolate biscuit at exactly 9:45 a.m. It's always the same kind of biscuit and only ever one. The trouble is that this kind of precision affects the way he works. His attention to detail is incredible, but it's a bit of a handicap. What frustrates me is the way he absolutely refuses to start work on a project until he understands absolutely everything about it. And then, when a project is underway, if there is something that he thinks doesn't make sense, he'll call everything to a halt until he thinks it's sorted out. Sometimes it's just so unnecessary, and it really slows things down. But sometimes the question he's asking is the right one to ask. And I have to admit, he's really good at predicting where problems might come up. But I just wish he was a bit more flexible.
Sam.
I sit next to Claudio in the office. The one thing I really appreciate about him is he's quiet. I don't like working next to someone who talks all the time. However, I know for a fact that when it looks like Claudio is really concentrating on something, he's reading a newspaper online. I can see his screen. I don't really think he should be doing that. And in team meetings, I find him a bit strange. What unsettles me is the fact he doesn't say a lot. He spends a lot of time sitting there looking bored or with a cynical smile on his face. I sometimes get the feeling that he's laughing at the rest of us. Still, when he does say something, it's usually worth listening to. Sometimes when I notice a problem in a project, it'll be Claudio who comes up with a solution. Vicky, our team leader, she likes that. I always get the feeling that Claudio's her pet. He is clever, but I think he's a bit lazy, and I'm not altogether sure he's sincere.
Vicky.
I'm really going to have to do something about the team I manage. We're supposed to be working on projects that improve business processes, but I feel like we spend more time managing each other than the project. We're not pulling together as a team. Team meetings have become really painful. There's no other word for it. The main reason why this is happening is that they just can't seem to communicate well with each other. Masha talks all the time and wants everything done her way. Sam interrupts and goes off on tangents, and Claudio just sits there looking as though everything were beneath him. I mean, they all have their strengths. Masha's a great ideas person, and Sam is brilliant at anticipating problems, and Claudio is the ultimate fixer, and he has a good sense of humour. But each individual is caught up in their own agenda. What we need to do is some kind of team building course or something.
Okay. I'm ready to comment on at least something about each person. Right, let's have a look. Claudia, what was he? Who was he talking about, and what was he talking about? Nastya, what do you say?
Of course, describing Masha, and he believes he's a quite creative person, but got some disadvantages, like he's stubborn. If he has an idea, he wants to let it go, not listening to other members of the team, and he find she isn't sometimes tolerant, because she doesn't take others' ideas seriously,
True.
and she talks a lot.
Okay, right. Well, what about Masha, Katya? Who was she talking about, and what kind of problems and aspects
to be
does she know?
honest, I have missed this part of the
Oh, okay.
dialogue, only
Um,
this part, but I have ideas.
Uh-huh.
So she's
Mhm. Please do, please. So what do you remember about Masha? And then Nastya will comment, will add a bit more.
So she was talking about Sam. Yeah.
True.
Okay. So, and as far as I understood, I'm not sure, is it Marsha or Sam who prefer coffee and this the same
At the same time.
at the same time and the same biscuits every day.
Uh-huh.
Biscuit, yeah. But
Biscuit.
biscuit. Okay.
Nastya, is it about Masha or is it about Sam?
Describing Sam's habit.
Yes.
It's Sam's habit. Nice. And Masha wants Sam to be more flexible.
I think
that's it.
And this quality, she describes, you remember, as precision, right? When something is precise, we use it a lot, like exactly the same way. And this flexibility is the opposite quality, yeah, precision. So his precision is annoying. Right. Well, so who was Sam talking about?
About Claudia.
Claudia. Claudia. Right, but there was something good about Sam. Did you notice anything that she said good about Sam? Nastya, any comments? Something positive about Sam?
He is really attentive to details.
Yeah,
Can
absolutely.
predict problems, but he always needs to grasp details of the context. Until he understands everything, he will focus on these problems.
Yeah, true. So, Kate, well, Sam, who was he talking about?
Sam was talking about Claudia, and he described him as a quiet person who just always concentrates on something, but sometimes it is newspaper that is quite irritates Sam, and he spent meetings not speaking but just listening. So that's why he says that maybe that Claudia is quite lazy, but he also mentioned that the leader of the team, Vicky, appreciate in Claudia that he could find a really great decision for the problem.
Okay, solutions, yeah?
Solutions, yeah.
Yeah. And well, what about Vicky? What is her opinion? What does she want to do, Nastya?
We think that they need to have a team building course because they are managing other, but not the project.
Okay.
So they have problems with dealing with each other.
Yeah. So if we look back, like this is communication problem. Yeah, like that. So what I want you to do now, I want you to look at some language. All the descriptions, their talk, was really good in terms of language focus and language choice. Well, focus on the words above. I think we know most of the words, probably there are some areas, some words that we do not know. Well, look at my drawing. I'm not particularly good at it. But what is that? What do we call this thing? If we think of maths, geometry, this is a circle. And this line that has only one point with this circle, what do we call it in Russian?
Прикосновение, что такое?
Касательно. Thank you. Nastya remembers. So, and in English, it's a tangent.
A tangent?
Yeah, look here, the very last word, tangent.
Oh, tangent.
And metaphorically speaking, when the person goes off on tangents, what does he or she do?
Not careful to details.
When you kind of talk about something that is very, very important, or something that is connected, but not the main thing. Yeah? So you can say go on tangents, go off on tangents, or go on a tangent, doing or talking something which is not the main thing to do. Any other words that we do not remember? So a bit of a handicap. What is a handicap?
No idea.
Handicap.
It's something familiar.
Yeah, like a
I
bit of
don't.
a problem, a bit of a disability. You probably know the word. When there is a handicap, a disability, mental or physical. Again, metaphorically speaking, he or she is a bit of a problem. So take a moment, read through the sentences and try to complete the gaps using the words above.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I can't just manage to do this exercise. But I'm ready to listen to you, girls.
Okay, we'll do it this way. So now when you are familiar with ideas, I would like you to listen to them again, check your answers, and focus on the language items, things they say about each other. Not what they say, we know that, but focus on more how they say things. Okay?
Track 3.43. Claudio.
Deep down, Masha is a nice person. I mean, if we go and have a coffee together and just talk about everyday things, we get on just fine. But in meetings, she really winds me up. She's the most stubborn person I know. What annoys me is that once she gets hold of an idea, she won't let it go. She'll defend her idea and get quite aggressive about it. And sometimes she just won't stop talking, and I'm sitting in a meeting and inside myself I'm saying, "Stop talking now, please." Admittedly, she does have really good ideas sometimes. In fact, she's very creative. But she doesn't seem to understand that there can be other ways of looking at things. What she needs to do is lighten up, get a sense of humor. In this job, what you need more than anything else is the ability to laugh at yourself.
Masha.
There's something a bit old-fashioned about Sam that I find very sweet. It's the thing I like about him the most. He has lots of funny little habits, like every morning he has a coffee and a chocolate biscuit at exactly 9:45 a.m. It's always the same kind of biscuit and only ever one. The trouble is that this kind of precision affects the way he works. His attention to detail is incredible, but it's a bit of a handicap. What frustrates me is the way he absolutely refuses to start work on a project until he understands absolutely everything about it. And then, when a project is underway, if there is something that he thinks doesn't make sense, he'll call everything to a halt until he thinks it's sorted out. Sometimes it's just so unnecessary, and it really slows things down. But sometimes the question he's asking is the right one to ask. And I have to admit, he's really good at predicting where problems might come up. But I just wish he was a bit more flexible.
Sam.
I sit next to Claudio in the office. The one thing I really appreciate about him is he's quiet. I don't like working next to someone who talks all the time. However, I know for a fact that when it looks like Claudio is really concentrating on something, he's reading a newspaper online. I can see his screen. I don't really think he should be doing that. And in team meetings, I find him a bit strange. What unsettles me is the fact he doesn't say a lot. He spends a lot of time sitting there looking bored or with a cynical smile on his face. I sometimes get the feeling that he's laughing at the rest of us. Still, when he does say something, it's usually worth listening to. Sometimes when I notice a problem in a project, it'll be Claudio who comes up with a solution. Vicky, our team leader, she likes that. I always get the feeling that Claudio's her pet. He is clever, but I think he's a bit lazy, and I'm not altogether sure he's sincere.
Vicky.
I'm really going to have to do something about the team I manage. We're supposed to be working on projects that improve business processes, but I feel like we spend more time managing each other than the project. We're not pulling together as a team. Team meetings have become really painful. There's no other word for it. The main reason why this is happening is that they just can't seem to communicate well with each other. Masha talks all the time and wants everything done her way. Sam interrupts and goes off on tangents, and Claudio just sits there looking as though everything were beneath him. I mean, they all have their strengths. Masha's a great ideas person, and Sam is brilliant at anticipating problems, and Claudio is the ultimate fixer, and he has a good sense of humour. But each individual is caught up in their own agenda. What we need to do is some kind of team building course or something.
So I hope now it's a bit better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Right.
finally, I just realized everything.
Okay. Yeah. So if we think, what about number one? What do we have for number one? Absolutely winds up. And number two, Katya, what do we have for number two?
Lighten up.
Okay. Yeah. Right. And this was about
Sense
Claudio,
of humor.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sense of humor. And if we look at, well, look at this. There is also an interesting way he said that deep down, when we say deep down, so what is meant by deep down?
Like
Uh-huh.
look at a person more attentively.
Yes, and it's not about the appearance, but it's more about inner
Inner
state, inner
qualities.
quality.
Yes,
Inner
absolutely,
quality.
absolutely. And today we're going to talk a little bit more about linkers. And look at this linker. In the middle of his paragraph, he's saying, admittedly, she does have really good ideas sometimes. When we say admittedly, so what is the point?
We accept them.
Yeah, we accept that. It's true that. Yeah, admittedly is a more like a complex way of saying that. And she does have really good ideas. Yeah, instead of she has, like emphasis. Yeah. Good. Back to the next description. Well, what do we have about Sam? Number 3. What do we have for number 3?
Attention to detail and a bit of handicap.
Yes, absolutely. And number 4?
Unsettled and cynical smile.
When something unsettles you, how do you feel?
Irritate.
Okay, irritates. Yeah, like worries. Yeah. And number 5, what do we have here, Katya?
Goes off on tangents.
Tangents. Yeah. And number 6, what do we have? Okay. When something is, somebody thinks other people are beneath him or her. So what is the idea?
They look down on them.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And number 7, what do we have here?
Caught up in their own agenda.
If we think about the word agenda, what is the meaning of the word?
Like on their own problems.
Yeah. So
on topic of the meeting.
yeah, well, yeah, the program. Yeah, agenda is very often used in different like political context when we talk about the agenda of the meeting. Yeah, something like this. Okay. Right. With this, look at this attention to detail. I want you to remember, we all know this, that we don't usually use plural here, like reading for detail, listening for detail, attention to detail. In Russian, we have a plural form. Yeah. And that's why we tend to use the noun in plural, but here it's like a fixed phrase. Well, there was an interesting way that Marsha said about call everybody to a halt. What is meant? I'll find this and underline it. What is a halt? Just a second. Look, he will call everything to a halt until he thinks it's sorted out. Yeah, like, what is a halt? Look at the context. Look at the context. What does he do? What does...
ask a lot of questions and praise everyone's attention.
Does he stop the project or the process?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a halt is a stop, a pause. Like they asks everybody to stop and focus on the problems. Okay. And look at, you know, well, Sam, you remember that when he commented on Claudia, I'm not sure he is sincere. When somebody is sincere, so how do we feel about the person?
That she talks about everything clearly,
Uh-huh.
fair, like he's fair.
Yeah, like, does this person tell the truth?
Yeah.
Sincere,
Honestly, yeah. But if the person doesn't tell the truth or hides sincere, insincere. Okay. Well, were there any words that were difficult or tricky or unknown?
No.
Well, I'm sure everything was quite clear. So, and as usual, I'll post the recording if you want to come back to it later. So you will have a chance to do that. So if I ask you to think about teams and qualities, or there is another word, look at this, attributes, yeah, characteristics, yeah, we also know, are most tolerable and least tolerable. There are things that we desire, they are desirable, but there are things we tolerate, right? Yeah, in other people especially. So can I ask you to think of those qualities and, you know, mark them with numbers, where number 1 is most tolerable and number 6 is least tolerable. And then we'll compare what we have.
Okay.
Have you made up minds? Okay. Yeah.
Nastya, you're very quick. You're very, you do everything today very quick. And
I was
too
doing
quickly.
it.
Too quickly.
And
Yeah.
I'm today very slowly.
But slow, doing something slowly doesn't mean that it's wrong. It means that you analyze information a lot. Pretty much
I think
about
that
that.
I just analyze everything very slow today. Slowly.
Yeah. Like
It's
I'm
just
quite
because
slow.
we have association with the speed and success.
Yeah, that's the point, and that's not the most important thing. Yeah. Right. So which attributes did you give number 1 to? Most tolerable.
I think the most harmless is paying a lot of attention to detail.
I had the same.
It's even the advantage.
Yeah, it could be even an advantage. It depends on the context. Yeah. It's in some cases, in some projects, when the person has no attention to detail, it might be a problem, right?
Of course.
Which is the least tolerable quality or attribute?
Kate, what do you say?
I think that it's very bad for comment if a person thinks most others are beneath them. So he or she in the consideration their opinions. of others team peers.
I've got the same. Sometimes we are too
alike.
yeah.
We think alike, yeah. Well, and what about this one? Being insincere. Is it easy to
Fixed
work with a
position.
person, with this person who never
Yeah,
tells
no.
the truth? Yeah, like, and you never know what he or she thinks.
Teamwork, it's about trust.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
You can't rely on such a person,
yeah.
and it will influence your work better.
Okay. Well, you remember Vicky's suggestion. What does she want to do? You know, admitting the fact that they have problems with communication.
She wants to have team building course.
A team building
in order
course.
to develop team skills.
Have you ever taken part in a team building course or in any team building program?
No.
I have participated, not like in a program, but like in a team building meeting.
Activity. What was that about?
So to be honest, when my first major, like I think, is economics, and I have worked in an insurance company, so that's why here we had some meetings in order to develop team skills, like I didn't remember exactly what we did, but it was
it
even
a game or a discussion? What was it?
Yes, it was like a game, not discussion. It was some cases that we should resolve,
Sort out.
like sort out, like a command. So,
did you enjoy that?
Yes, to be honest, I really enjoy them, and I think it's quite productive.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So this is a very common way of, you know, teaching interaction and social skills. Like our lessons are supposed to be, you know, more like problem solving, you know, things, right? So in this part of the book, we are going to talk about proposals. So what is a proposal, and what do you think is the difference between a proposal in general and a report?
Proposal needs. We wrote a proposal. They have two negative ones. So,
did we write a proposal or did we write a report?
No.
We write, yes, we
Report.
have.
It was
We
a
have
report.
written a report.
So sometimes Russian people kind of confuse these things. What
Yeah.
is proposal about and what is a report about?
Proposal, we suggest to do something.
Yeah,
That
so
is
just
doing.
doing. Yeah.
Doing, yeah.
So proposal is something like kind of a suggestion or an intention for future.
We didn't, in proposal, we don't analyze the background, like.
It depends on the task, actually. But a report is more about visiting something or taking part in something and
Feedback.
writing a kind of a paper suggesting changes or improvements. Proposal is considering the situation right now and, you know, suggesting something as an idea, but a formal paper. You remember the same as reports. Proposals are very straightforward. And this is the reason why people in different, you know, in C1 exams choose to write either proposals or reports. There is usually a choice of different papers, and there might be a proposal or a report, and a lot of candidates would pick these papers because they are easily structured. So, and this is the reason why we, consider them, for, practical writing skills. So here we have a sample paper in which Vicky writes to her management, senior management. So if we talk about senior management, are these people above her or below her in the company? Above, yeah. So, and have a look at the, paper. Why has she chosen this interpersonal gym? So do not pay attention to gaps yet. They're not that important now. Why has she chosen this program?
What kind? I can't understand.
Katya, so here we have a sample of Wiki's program.
Training, this one, like
yeah,
a program.
this is her paper. This is
Yeah.
her proposal, starting with introduction. Do not pay attention to gaps, just read through.
Okay.
Why has she chosen her it? Have you finished reading?
Yeah.
So why do you think has she chosen this program?
The first point is this problem involves a lot of activities, and they will appeal to all members, like games.
So, and she believes that after finishing this program, this program will help her team to be more productive.
Yeah, to build up, better communication skills, right?
Yeah.
And look at this word, testimonials, in the last but one paragraph. So, well, she has chosen a particular program, and then she says the range of testimonials from organizations similar to our own. What are those testimonials about? So
maybe like feedback.
Like
feedback, like reviews,
like positive feedback from other organization with the same operation
system.
Yeah,
System.
system or similar problems.
Mhm.
Like, well, this,
Proofs, some proofs.
yeah, that's a very good word to use. Yeah. Well, if we focus a bit on the structure, I pointed out that it's kind of straightforward and easy to structure. In a way, it's similar to reports because the first paragraph would be called introduction, and predictably, the last paragraph would be called
Should we give
Conclusion.
names to paragraphs? Like in
conclusions. Yeah,
report? Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Well, and when you have to write 200 and something words, usually there are like 2 or 3 paragraphs in the middle, in the body
Mhm.
parts. Here we have suggestions, like
Mhm.
benefits, do, and needs. If we complete the headings, so training, so what do we have for training?
Needs,
Needs.
Needs. What's the,
do.
yeah, the description of the program, yeah? And the final paragraph would be benefits to our business. Again, the headings are usually very straightforward, very simple, very clear. So they make the proposal easy to
Follow.
follow. Yes, absolutely.
To follow.
Yeah. Uh, Proposals can be formal or semi-formal, depending on the person or the the position of the person. Your report, is it formal?
Yes, it's formal.
Quite
I-
formal because she's writing to senior management.
Mhm.
If you look at sentences, for example, the first one, the aim of this proposal, the same as the aim of this report, is impersonal, where there are no I sentences. And in most parts of the proposal, there are no I sentences. But where does she have I sentences?
In conclusion, I believe.
In conclusion, and there is one more in, look at the very last but one paragraph.
I have identified one professional development day. This one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
Particular that I believe is ideal.
yeah. Well, what I say is that in conclusion, you usually have this I sentences, but there might be some
Mhm.
in the body parts. In
Not
well,
too much.
I believe it's ideal, or I believe will offer effective professional development. Yeah. Why does she use those I sentences? Look, think of the reasons in B. So to introduce your opinion, to sound more informal, to be more persuasive. What are the reasons for using those I sentences?
Be more persuasive.
To be more persuasive, absolutely, and to
introduce her opinions.
introduce your opinion. So if you think that your opinion is needed in this part of the proposal, you add, those I sentences. As usual, at higher levels, we focus on linking ideas within paragraphs. And here we have this highlighted and orange sentences. Well, is it okay? I hear echo for some reason. Can you hear me well?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fine. So look at this C task. There are highlighted words, and the reasons for linking the ideas and proposals are the following: giving examples, giving evidence, giving detailed information, highlighting something. Can you match meanings and highlighted phrases? Let me know if you're ready.
I'm ready, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Which phrases give an example?
For instance,
Uh-huh. Okay, do we agree on that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so which phrases present evidence?
Why?
Can you say that again? I just missed the beginning.
As demonstrated by.
Okay, and there is one more.
I have the same, but nothing more.
In particularly?
No.
No.
Well, not really.
Specifically? No.
Namely,
Namely?
as detailed in.
Yeah, as detailed in. Look at this. Evidence is like developing the argument. So she presents the program and then explains what's there, or comments on testimonials and other companies' experience. So more detailed information. Which phrases give more detailed information?
Namely,
Nastya, what do
As
you have?
detailed in. Namely,
No.
and as detailed.
No, as detailed in would be probably
Used only once.
yeah, using once. It's more. I agree that you see evidence and more detailed information kind of overlap. Don't worry too much about naming them. But here would be specifically and namely, yeah. Yeah, like when you specify the subject areas. I think we use the word specifically and we understand it quite a lot. The word namely, probably not very commonly used, yeah? And highlighting an individual thing would be in particular, yeah. So which of those, out of those, do you use very often?
only for instance.
Only for instance. I think we use the word especially a lot, or but here there is specifically sounds a bit more formal. And in particular, I think we know, and it's easy to use.
Yeah.
Syntactically, as detailed, as demonstrated, would make your sentences more complex. Highlight them, come back to those. They might be very helpful to link ideas within the body paragraph. You remember that proposals and reports are easily structured because they have headings, but there should be linkers within the paragraph when you say something and then comment why this or that idea is important. And here we have another paragraph below, but I think the linkers, the linking words are quite easy to use. We all know them. Good activities.
Especially.
Such requires as.
Such as
yeah.
inactivity number
and
2.
Here we have especially. Yeah. Then an activity such as, and we need past participle
As shown by.
As shown by. Because of this by, we need the past participle, yeah, and here demonstrated by or detailed, yeah. So as usual, at the back of the book you will have some more sentences where you can work with linkers. They can be variants. Like, for instance, for example, especially, particularly in particular. Well, there are things like such as that require some, prepositions or some structures, but very often the options are possible. Well, if I ask you about this program, would you be willing to participate in a program like this?
Why not? I
Mhm.
think it's quite interesting to have
Mhm.
a day
Mhm.
develop team skills with your team members.
Mhm.
We all want to enhance the productivity
Yeah.
of the group, and maybe it will really help you. Us
Mhm.
help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
And moreover, we can see that it increase job satisfaction. So it's like
Mhm. 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 Do you think
Personal.
that team building skills can be easily developed?
No.
new.
Why?
Because all members of group should be eager to develop such skills.
Yes. Yeah, true. This is a very common situation. Probably in exams, it would sound slightly differently. For example, a very common case when international students visit your college or, come for summer courses, and you have to come up with proposals how to make them better parts of the community. So they feel less isolated, more integrated. Yeah, like this is a very common example of, a proposal that could be written in exams. And back to ideas. So in this country, and if we think of teenagers and school students, in this country, we focus a lot on information. Our programs are more information-based. And I think nowadays, social skills are sometimes undervalued. Why do you think is that? There are not many team building projects where kids do something extra. I do not comment on this patriotism things. They are not about social skills. They're more about, ideas and propaganda.
Yeah.
So why do you think we kind of undervalue such projects? Everybody understands that social skills are more important sometimes than knowledge. Why it happen?
We have.
Okay, let's do it in turns. Nice to begin.
Nice.
I think we have a
Prejudice.
that children are starting developing social skills from visiting nursery school, but it's not true. And that's why we think that being in a nursery school, going to secondary, primary, and high school, everything is done and nothing should be improved.
There is no need. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's it's not so. Sometimes they do not know how to behave, express themselves.
Yeah. Well,
We
what
are
I
undervalue.
Sometimes I notice that my students know very little about their classmates. Yeah, like they have friends within the class, but they know very little about other people.
I also read the previous lesson Rewire. When we think that we are cosmopolitan, but we are not. So.
Yeah, but yeah. Kate, what do you say? You are the expert because you work in a secondary school. What do you say? Maybe we are wrong, we are mistaken.
No, you are not wrong, unfortunately. I think it's because of people used to think that such skills, I mean soft skills, are not important. They could be developed without any trainings and without
Automatically.
any effort. Yes, automatically. And people used to develop like mathematical or some skill that like they thought will help them to achieve great results. But now more and more not like articles but research
There is more research.
research shows that it is very important, especially in the future, to develop soft skills. But at school, we are not concentrate on
Well,
developing them.
I think there is a point that everybody's saying that soft skills are important, but programs haven't been changed yet, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like I have finished the program that is based on the new standards in
At schools?
At schools, yes, but not at schools. I mean, at старшая школа,
High school. High school.
yeah, high school. So, and new standards are focused on developing soft skills, but it is quite difficult to introduce,
integrate them into the system.
Into the system to change something. In order to change.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's kind of a shame that the system is quite conservative. Everybody understands that, yeah, but it's too big to be flexible, right? You know, the whole thing. Well, let's hope for the better. Nastya, by the time your daughter joins the school, let's hope that the system will be a bit more flexible.
We need to ruin it a bit and build again.
Maybe
my grandchildren will have the different system, but not my daughter for sure.
Yeah,
so it depends on a teacher.
Yeah.
I just think about my son's teacher.
Yeah,
and
then let your daughter be lucky to have the best primary teacher, because I think it's important. It's kind of difficult to have all the best teachers at a secondary school, but it's manageable in, you know, at primary school. At least one. Look for the best. Okay. So I'll at the end of the lesson, I'll share some highlights with you. So as usual, there will be some revision, vocabulary revision, and the extension tasks at the end of the unit. But in this home assignment, I will add some like test practice, if you like. You know, by the end of the month, when we are going to have the final lesson, I'll offer a test paper for you, like self-study test paper. And if you feel like practicing some exam tasks, like test tasks, you can try to see what you remember, what needs revision. And, you know, proposal is included in the course just to give you the general idea, the overview. And if you feel like writing it, it's okay. I see that we have to finish. People are demanding mothers back, right? And later today, I'm going to send you like detailed feedback. I'm nearly done. I'm like, there are final comments and it will be sent
Don't
today.
worry, we're not too much waiting for them. We were eager to write, but not to read the
No, I said that
feedback.
the perfect papers, and I just was considering some suggestions for you to consider. Right. Next time we are going to meet on Saturday, the same time, this Saturday, right? There will be the 8th. right? Kate, are you with us?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Okay, good.
I just look through the one
Timetable?
moment. I know.
Мгм.
Yes. Я скидывала сама себе для этого вот случая, но я теперь забыла, куда я это скинула.